Hello, this is Dr. Bob and Debbie Demaria. I'd like to welcome you once again to our half-off health program, and I promise you tonight that the information that we're going to be sharing with you is going to make such a huge difference, and you're going to be so happy because we're going to be talking about balancing female hormones, and we're also going to talk briefly about male hormones. So you're going to want to call and tell a friend. I've been privileged to put together this book. It's Dr. Bob's Guide, Dr. Bob's Drugless Guide to Balance Female Hormones. And one of the reasons that I made the decision to write this book is because so many ladies that come into our practice have surgery done to them that I don't know if it's necessarily appropriate at the timing that it's occurring without them making necessary changes. See, it's about learning. And just to indiscriminately do surgery to someone, like taking off a breast and doing a lumpectomy because of early detection, I think that we need to work on educating the females in our society and the men in our society a little bit more diligently and really get true prevention and have education in what more than likely is causing cancer. Because of my research, it is a known fact that alteration of RNA and DNA at the cellular level is one of the main reasons that people have cancer. And if you go to the American Cancer Society webpage today, they have a list of the carcinogens that are known cancer causes, and we're very concerned about early detection and removal of organs, but I'm here with this book to educate you, and this is so significant because a lot of you are having procedures done to you that we have successfully helped in our practice without drugs. And I'm not telling you not to be checked by your healthcare provider, and I'm not telling you to stop seeing your healthcare provider, but I'd like you to listen and learn about what's happening inside of your bodies today. I've been a natural health care provider since 1978. When I started in practice in the late 1970s, we did not have to deal with the conditions that we're dealing with today. So I want to share with you what I believe that I have found through research, and then it's been documented by other research organizations, that the leading cause of female health issue and challenges today is what we call a condition called estrogen dominance. It was reported in the Time magazine that and they also agreed with it, that the increase of estrogen in our body, in our inability to process it all, is one of the main reasons that women have issues with breast challenges. They said that the women today in our society have what we call a meat-sweet diet. Meat products and sweets. Now the issue with meat today, and I am not a vegetarian. Jesus ate lamb, Jesus ate fish, and I'm sure that Jesus ate beef also. It's what we put into our animals today. We're putting so many chemicals into our animals to raise them up big and strong so they get big and fat, so when they're at the marketplace that they can sell them for an enormous amount of money. But they're putting, now listen to how I'm going to say this, they're putting unnecessary chemicals into those cows. Unfortunately, when you eat that cow flesh or chicken flesh or turkey flesh that is from a conventional source, so get the terminology right here. Conventional means that it has chemicals placed in it. Organic, according to the U.S. law, anything that's USDA certified cannot be genetically modified, and they cannot put any kind of chemicals in that tissue. If you consume tissue that has had any chemicals put in it, potential for it to cause damage in your body is enormous. One of the areas that we have found to be a great concern is that women and men, but we're going to talk about females right now, have a congested liver. How do I know that? Well, probably what I'm going to share with you now is just very, very so significant, especially if you're between 25 and 45 years old. The liver has to process the chemicals. Where do the chemicals come from? The food you eat, the air you breathe, and the beverages that you drink. Your liver has to detoxify them. What are signs? Now, this is very important. What are signs that you have a congested liver? Well, if you're a female and you've had a child, there are little red bumps in your body called cherry hemangiomas. A cherry hemangioma is a little red nodule that you're going to see on your skin. Now, I just had a conversation with a lady just the other day, and she happened to be a nurse, had all of her cherry hemangiomas removed. And in conversation about the book, I shared something with her to the fact that it could be due to high estrogen. Do you, in fact, have heavy, tender breasts and a heavy menstrual flow with your menstrual cycle? And she looked at me with these big old deer-in-the-headlight eyes. Well, yes. Why? Well, what I have learned, and other people know this also, she has too much estrogen in her body. So I coined a new term in my book. It's called estrogen saturation. Her liver is not capable of processing all the estrogen. Well, where can all this extra estrogen be coming from? Well, I'm going to give you one of many examples that I could share with you. This happens to be a candle that's a synthetic candle that comes from a petrochemical source. What does that mean, Dr. Bob? The candle industry in America today is huge. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry where they use petrochemicals in the candle, and especially if you have a scented candle. When you see that soot coming off that candle and it's going into the air and you're in that room, and I know many of you have 4 or 5 candles in your home, those chemicals are going to enter your body. Now, this happens to be a miniature version of an ionic breeze, ionic cleanser. The company that sells this product encourages people not even to burn candles in their house when this is running, because the wax from the candle will cover the plates and make this item totally ineffective. You say, what are you saying to me, Dr. Bob? What I'm saying to you is the fact that when you breathe in certain chemicals into your body, your liver has to process it. So cherry hemangiomas are one sign, one of many signs that your liver could be congested. Varicose veins, hemorrhoids, and spider veins are also a sign to me that you, in fact, could have estrogen that's elevated inside of your body. If you had your gallbladder out, people who have their gallbladder out usually have thick bile. Women who have high estrogen have thick bile. When you have thick bile, the conventional medical people are going to want you to take your gallbladder out. I'm going to suggest that you eat Dr. Bob's ABCs. Have a half an apple every day, have beets, and have carrots. That will help assist your liver do what it needs to do. Now, the body, and this is also a very significant point, your liver needs B vitamins passionately to process estrogen. One of the most common deficiencies in our society today is a B vitamin deficiency, and we talk about it in detail in the book. But a very common finding for a B vitamin deficiency is crying easily, crying without cause, sore muscles, depression, fear of impending doom, all a sign that your body needs B vitamins. And some of you watching me right now will go to bed, let's say at 9 o'clock at night, and you wake up an hour or so later. That's a sign to me that your body needs B vitamins. What depletes the body of B vitamins? Sugar. If you're eating sugar and you have any of those symptoms or body signals, more than likely you need B vitamins. Low blood pressure. Low blood pressure is very, very serious. So I just want you to understand this term, estrogen dominance, estrogen saturation. Some of you watching me right now may have a heavy menstrual flow, may have tenderness with your breast right before your menstrual cycle. And it's been going on for years, and your healthcare provider is trying to talk you into getting a hysterectomy. Now, if it's a matter of life and death, that's going to be a decision that you need to pray about. But I can tell you that we have successfully helped women by changing their diets, and we're preventing them from having a procedure called ablation. Ablation is when they go in with a cauterizing iron and they cauterize the inside of your uterus. And they put a scar in there so your body's not able to have menstrual flow anymore. That'd be like if you had chronic diarrhea and somebody's putting a cork up your rectum. Now, I'm not saying to be vulgar. What I'm saying to you is I want you to have a realization of what's going on.